Our current user interface looks like this, but we would like it to look like this. That's where Bootstrap can help. Bootstrap is a framework for prettifying web pages. It helps you develop responsive applications on the web. Responsive in this context means that it is responsive to changes in layout. In other words, it scales to multiple form factors: phones, tablets, laptops, and desktops. It also handles browser differences, so you don't have to. It was originally developed by Twitter. You can download it on the web address shown here. There is also a large third-party community where you can find free or inexpensive themes and other designs. One of the key features of Bootstrap is its grid system. Instead of using tables or divs to lay out the user interface elements for your application, you can use Bootstrap's grid system. The grid system is divided into 12 equal columns. You can place an element into any number of columns using the syntax shown here. For example, if your first display element should take up 4 columns, you can specify col-md-4. We'll use this grid system in some parts of the application. Here is the Bootstrap page. In addition to the grid system, Bootstrap provides styling for many other things, such as tables, forms, buttons. There are also components to style glyph icons, panels, and as you can see, much more. Let's add some styling. Here we are back in WebStorm. I have already downloaded Bootstrap and added the bootstrap.css file to the project under the CSS directory. There it is there. I also added the associated fonts under the fonts directory. There they are. We can then add a link to the CSS file in the index.html. And while we're here, let's add an app.css file as well. So we'll say new file, app.css. This file is currently empty, but will contain any additional styles we may want for this application. So we're just going to close it for now, but we'll add a reference under our style sheets. That way it's all set up and ready for us when we do want to add some styles to that file. Now we are ready to style our page. Let's put the entire table into a panel with a nice header. Much of the Bootstrap styling is done using div tags, so we can add a div tag with an appropriate style class defined by Bootstrap. So let's start with the panel. The first div that we added defines a panel. The second name in the class definition defines the color. Panel-primary is a blue panel. The second div tag adds a panel heading. We added a style attribute to up the font in the heading. The third div defines the panel body. The table will then appear in the panel body. Let's see how that looks so far. Ooh, much better. But the white background looks a little harsh. Let's change the background to a light blue. We'll use basic CSS for that, adding a body element to the app.css file. So we'll open app.css and we'll add a body tag. This is a light blue color. Now let's go back to index.html and style the table. We'll just add the Bootstrap table class. So we can just say class equals table. Let's take a look. Oh wow, that made a big difference. Look at that. Let's style our button yet. So for our button, we're going to say class equals. We're going to style it as a button. And again, we're going to use primary to make it a blue style button. Run one more time. And now our button's blue. That's pretty nice looking. Wow, only a few minutes of work and our application looks much better. We now have an Angular application with a product list page that we can be proud of.